When senior people meet on a first date, here's how to wow every time. News Bulletin. After decades of being the traditional way of celebrating a first date when senior people meet, the dinner date has finally died. The dinner date lived well past its prime, but among the senior set who have been there and done that on many first dates, the dinner date may no longer be the best way to create a great first impression. Surely there has to be a better way to create a memorable first date for seniors to better their chances of a second date or beyond. With experience to call upon and so many new opportunities available to impress their date, it's time for seniors to date and live life by a new creed. The older, the bolder. This applies not just to males, but also female singles over 50 who are no longer waiting for the man to initiate a first date. So how do either of you impress on a first date and still get to know each other better without the old dinner date? Old-time tradition can still work, such as a blind date set up by mutual friends, but in these exciting times for single seniors, a referral is hardly necessary. Another way to turn back the dating clock is to seek out long-lost friends or old flames at school reunions or social media sites such as Facebook. But so many other and exciting ways exist to find a new flame, such as the emerging trend of over 50 dating sites. Online dating allows for a more cautious approach, which may be particularly helpful to long-time singles or widows and widowers looking to get back into the dating scene. However, finding a first date is one thing, but how do we prevent ourselves from becoming a one-date wonder? Beyond the dinner date. When senior people meet, whether you seek new friends of the opposite sex or a romance and passion that is forever, here are just a few helpful tips to create an exciting first date that will leave him or her wanting more. Pre-date questions and answers. Once upon a time, the dinner date was our opportunity to ask questions and get to know each other to ascertain if a second date would occur. With so many ways to communicate before meeting in person these days, such as email, you can now gather information and ask exploratory questions. The answers will enable you to set up the perfect first date based on the expressed interests of your prospective date. Dialogue is still important. There are plenty of ways to enjoy a first date that still enables the both of you to talk the night away. That definitely means a no movie for a first date. Also avoid a loud bar, a play, a live concert or any function that takes the focus away from each other for a sizable stretch of time. Show creativity. Put some thought into a first date with the intent to impress him or her. If your date reveals that he or she would like to go to a local community festival, make that your first date. And to jazz it up, you might arrange for a horse-drawn carriage ride so you can enjoy the festivities as well as have some quality talk time. There are always ways to spice up a date and avoid the mundane. In this instance, your first date is a winner because 1. You are doing what you know your date will enjoy because it is his or her idea. 2. You added a nice surprise to the evening with the horse-drawn carriage tour. 3. You arrange for quiet time to talk and get to know each other more. Show off your sense of humor. Let's say your date indicates she has always wanted to take a salsa dance lesson. Why not set that up for the two of you as a first date? To add some levity to the occasion, just before the lesson begins, present her with a pair of steel-toed shoes. Walk or take a cab to the lesson so you can chat before and after the lesson. On this date, you have managed to 1. Show you are a good listener. 2. Show that you gave the first date lots of thought. 3. Show that you really want him or her to enjoy the evening. 4. Create some innocent physical contact during the dance lesson. 5. Demonstrate that you have a wonderful sense of humor. Find common interests. By asking the right pre-date questions, singles over 50 often discover that they share a common interest or passion. If it turns out you both like following the local baseball team, you have a fun first date that you know both of you will enjoy. And even without the traditional dinner date, you still have ample opportunity to talk to each other. So how would you impress on such a date and earn a second date? You could 1. Bring along matching baseball caps to get into the spirit of the game. 2. Even better, you could find out his or her favorite player and present your date with an autographed jersey to wear at the game. It needs to be noted that it doesn't take much to create a great first impression on a date. Almost any little surprise or something unexpected will do nicely. Also, by asking the right questions in advance of a first date, you will know that your date is worth trying to impress. By putting a little creativity, effort and perhaps a bit of money into a first date, you can set up a memorable first outing. And you'll have fun planning and preparing for your first date. With so many exciting things to do when senior people meet for a date these days, may the dear old dinner date rest in peace. For more great 50+ dating information, visit a great resource by clicking the link below this video.